All right, chat, we back at it. Missing files. 20 women you wouldn't believe actually exist. Man, let's hit that like button. Let's get into it. Y'all ready? Man, I'm ready.
All around us. We just have to learn their stories. You never know why someone might make a choice and what might drive them to become something else. It's often all about finding an identity or discovering something about themselves that they've hidden for a long time.
It tells a story about you and who you are and the struggle and the journey that you have been on.
These are 20 women you won't believe actually exist. They've fully embraced who they are and have gained admiration and respect due to what's happened throughout their lives. These women are very real, and it's about time we learn more about them. Dwangjae Samaksamam. Do you ever get frustrated about parts of your body and wish they were different? Dwangjae Samaksaman has had to deal with having some of the biggest hands in the world. What would you even do if you had to live your life like this? A woman from Surin Province, Thailand has suffered for over 50 years with...
Bro, she got some big-ass Popeye hands, bro, in orange. Big-ass Popeye veins, bro. Look at it. The fuck? I'm going to hell with gasoline drawers on, but, bro, she got big-ass Popeye hands.
Swollen hands. They're so heavy that she can barely lift them, and her quality of life has deteriorated because of it. It's hard for her to work or even move around, and some doctors have suggested that the only way that she can move freely again is if she had her hands amputated. However, she's undergone surgery to try and deal with these oversized limbs, as she's hopeful that she can get on with her life in her own way. The woman is tackling a rare disease where fat deposits begin to form in her arms and hands. While she's become a bit of a recluse because of her condition, rarely leaving her house, she seems to finally be embracing her body by telling her story to the world. Although anything removed from the hands via surgery seems to just grow back, and experts claim that her situation is incurable. Her commitment to sharing her tale demonstrates her hopefulness for the future, or at the very least, a future for others in similar scenarios. Now let's get ready for today's missing topic.
I ain't never heard of that one before, bro. That gotta be messed up, bro. That big old Popeye arms and hands, bro.
Look at these pictures. Do these women actually exist? There are countless people all around the
world. She got 3 high beams, bro.
World who embrace their differences. While it's entirely plausible that these effects were created using Photoshop, it could be that these people are very real and their lives are all about embracing their uniqueness. The women on the left are supposedly conjoined twins who have been together since birth and love feeling connected. The woman on the right is a model who supposedly had body modifications
to have 3 boobs.
Surgery to have the dream figure that she's always wanted. How do you embrace your differences, and are these pictures fake? Let your voice be heard in the comment section using hashtag miss.
Being a girl with 3 boobs, that'll be weird, bro. I'll be kind of, I don't know. I'm a boob man, bro, but I'll probably be kind of weirded out by that in a little bit. I ain't even gonna lie, chat. I'll probably be a little bit weirded out by that.
Topic: Joe Cameron. What do you think it might be like to never feel pain, to never feel fear or anxiety, to never get hurt, and to heal faster than most people? Well, very few people in the world could answer those questions, but Joe Cameron can. Cameron, who was 65 when she first understood what had happened to her, lives near Loch Ness in the Highlands of Scotland. She'd looked for assistance due to experiencing problems with her hip. What her doctor told her shocked her. She had severe joint degeneration, but didn't know about it because she hadn't felt any pain. She was rushed in for surgery, and that's when the research had begun. Joe claims that she rarely felt fear or distress in her life, even under dangerous circumstances. Her pain tolerance is far above average, and in hindsight, it had seemingly always been that way. It turns out that Joe Cameron has a rare genetic mutation which may even lead to increased healing. While these might sound like superpowers, they can be very dangerous, as the body doesn't know how to inform the brain that there's a potentially dire situation. However, Cameron hopes that her condition can help others deal with their own trauma, showing just how noble she is. Maria Jose Cristerna. Body modifications are becoming more and more common within the current era. The basic idea is that you should be able to be whoever you want, and look how—
I get the tats, bro. I get so many tattoos that my skin can't breathe, bro. But trying to look like a fucking lizard, a snake, fucking a vampire, bro. Justin Bieber, bro. I ain't with all that. I ain't with all that, bro.
however you want to look. Therefore, people have sought out surgeries that change their appearance, going as far as to put fangs on or horns and slicing their tongues so they appear to be forked. Maria Jose Cristerna might be a talented lawyer, businesswoman, tattoo artist, and activist, but alongside those talents, she's also a body modification enthusiast. Sometimes nicknamed the Vampire of Jaguar Woman, Maria has changed a great deal about herself. She's the world's most tattooed woman, with 96% of her body covered in various imagery. Even her eyes have been tattooed. She's had horns inserted into her head. Her eyes have been enlarged and has various piercings, dental implants, and scarification. All of these—
Bro, look at it. Look, bro, right there. Hey, we got ourselves a real live alien right here, bro. She's looking from Klingon or some shit. I don't know. But there we go. Alien, vampire, fucking whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Changes come from a very personal place. Maria experienced domestic abuse in a previous relationship, and these modifications are designed to show her strength and act as a fortress. Maria has shown the world just how powerful and brilliant she truly is, and has found a way to express herself, becoming who she wants to be. Ayana Williams. Sometimes people develop an interest in something specific, and they never really lose sight of that. For Ayana—
Now, the long nails, I didn't see that. My sister, grandmother, so she had long nails like that, bro.
Williams, she got into hair and makeup and nails and began to grow out her own nails for fun. She was pretty impressed with how long they had grown without breaking and decided to turn her hobby into a full-blown lifestyle. Williams just decided to continue growing her nails. She went on to win world records, and in 2018 won the Guinness World Record for the woman with the longest fingernails. They eventually came to the length of 576.4 centimeters, which ranked her just behind India's Shadar Chalal, the man with the longest nails in the world. But by choosing to continue growing her nails, Williams had made her life incredibly tough. The American might have found it fun at first, but she had a reputation to keep up. Many people get annoyed when their nails are just beyond a regular length. To have to put up with these nails for so long must have been incredibly frustrating. Although Ayana enjoyed the fame and the ability to express herself in her own way, she eventually said enough was enough. She had her nails cut in 2021 with an electronic rotary tool,
I was gonna say they probably gonna have to use like some garden shears or some boy to cut them things off. Look, it's long and thick as hell.
Into her record-breaking run. The nails have since been displayed in Ripley's Believe It or Not as a nod toward how unbelievable Williams' life decision truly was. Sarah Girtz. Wrinkles are a natural sign of aging. We all get wrinkles at different stages of our lives, and they're often defined by stresses, how much we've laughed, skin conditions, skin types, and even how much the sun has impacted our lives. Some people dread wrinkles while others embrace them. For women, there seems to be a taboo around wrinkles, but model Sarah Girtz is embracing her look. When Sarah was 10, she was diagnosed with an especially rare skin condition known as Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. The condition makes the skin look wrinkled despite Girtz's young age. Now, into her 20s, Sarah has fully embraced her own wrinkles and is redefining what beauty is through— Sarah has fully embraced her own wrinkles and is redefining what beauty is through her modeling career. What she's doing is incredibly empowering and demonstrates that there are all sorts of skin conditions out there, but they should—
How does this weird tiny device help with dust and airborne pollutants? Studies show that air pollution can be 5 times worse indoors.
Shouldn't define anyone in a negative way. You may not have previously believed or heard of such a skin condition, but Girtz is out there raising its profile and making sure it's okay for everyone to speak up about their own skin health. Sarah might have previously felt insecure about her skin, covering it up when she was younger, because it's not quite as elastic as it should be. But now those days are over, and she's here to show us who she is. Julia Gunul. As humans, we're fascinated by the limitations of our physical form and what we can do with our bodies. We're always trying to find ways to push what we're capable of, whether it's through rigorous training and exercise or by taking on incredible feats we never thought we'd be able to achieve. But Julia Gunul seems to naturally be able to push past any conventional limits and has suggested that she's one of the world's most flexible people. When you see what she can do, you won't even believe it. Gunul is so flexible that she can do the seemingly impossible and lick her own elbow. Known as Lata, for Julia, doing something as bizarre as fitting into a 50-centimeter box just comes naturally. She first discovered her hidden talent when she was 4 and has since won world records for her amazing feats. Although she can sometimes get sore or uncomfortable for staying in the same position for too long, that's not uncommon for anyone. Julia has made a career out of her amazing body, moving into modeling and photography, and joined a circus school to learn more about how she can use her talents. Julia has truly taken her physical capabilities and enhanced them, training her muscles to perform in such incredible ways. Natalia Ketova. We're currently in an interesting period of time when it comes to fitness. It seems that going to the gym and sculpting the perfect body is more important than ever. While so much of that is about diet and weightlifting, a huge portion of it is also based on mentality. To really take the physical form to the next level, the person has to be committed to what they're doing and really want it. That's especially the case in the bodybuilding scene. There are women among that community who you won't believe exist because they're so impressively muscular.
Nah, bro. I couldn't lay in the bed with that, bro. I'm fucking muscular as fuck. Get this up, touch. Nah, bro, I'm good.
Natalia Ketova is a standout in the bodybuilding scene. This Russian powerhouse has been deemed as the heaviest and most dedicated bodybuilder in the industry. Her muscles look as if they're carved out of stone, and she's spent years dedicated to her craft. This is a sign of her strength and perseverance, pushing through the common limitations of the human body to create a physique that she sees as art. She started powerlifting at 14, and it all went from there. She uses steroids in her work to maintain her shape and has won awards across the globe, doing what she does best. Mandy Seres. Sometimes our bodies betray us in unexpected ways, leaving us to deal with the consequences.
She probably ain't into bodybuilding shit no more. They don't be playing with that no more, do they, with those roids? I know WWE though. Get your ass fired for that.
For Mandy Seres, that was the case when she was diagnosed with a rare condition from a young age. Seres' legs grow at a much faster rate than most because of a genetic mutation. Her legs don't seem to stop getting larger, and after a blood clot left her paralyzed from the waist down, she had to learn how to walk again. While this is a tragic story, Seres has demonstrated her self-determination and sheer strength. She's continued to fight through everything that she's faced and eventually made the decision to have an amputation to improve her quality of life. She'd be fitted with prosthetics and would learn to walk again unburdened by the size of her legs. However, something unusual began to happen. Her amputated leg began to grow back. In what many would call a scientific miracle, Mandy's leg would grow in length and size, causing problems with her prosthetic. While things seem to be under control now, it's a lesson in how resilient the human body and, more importantly, the human spirit really is. Tamara Walcott. We've spoken a lot about mental and emotional strength and how someone might go about embodying everything they want to represent. However, there are some people in the world who can shockingly show off their inner strength in a physical capacity, making that talent far more than just a metaphorical personality trait. There are perhaps no other women on the planet who reflect that more than Tamara Walcott, a powerlifter who is impressed wherever she goes. Hailing from the United States Virgin Islands, Walcott began powerlifting in 2018 and never looked back. In fact, she became so good that in 2022, she won a Guinness World Record for lifting 737.5 kilograms during 3 compound lifts in a squat, bench press, and deadlift. She also holds the world record for the heaviest elephant bar deadlift after lifting 291 kilograms in 2022. While she might have made her name at competitions like the Arnold Sports Festival and World Raw Powerlifting Federation American Pro, Walcott's personality and dedication has ensured she's surpassed the confines of her field of sport. Tamara amazingly only set out to lose some weight and grow healthier, but she eventually abandoned sports like baseball and basketball to truly embrace this incredible lifestyle with passion. Beatrice Puzi. We live in a very vain world where appearances seem to matter more than anything else. However, there are some women out there who are redefining what beauty means and showing that everyone should be celebrated for their individuality. Skin is an important part of that. We all have very different skin, but that wouldn't mean that we judge one another based on that. Beatrice Puzi unfortunately learned the hard way that vanity can cause hurtful comments. Beatrice from Sao Paulo, Brazil, was born with a nevus birthmark. The darker tones of the birthmark cover 80% of her body. She was called names when she was younger and nicknamed Monkey. For a long time, she resented her birthmarks and began having surgery to try and deal with them. However, she's begun to realize that she's still incredibly beautiful and now shows off her birthmarks as a reminder of how she should love herself once more. She's actually found love herself with her longtime partner and is growing in confidence constantly. While birthmarks like these are rare, it's still more common than you think that someone's appearance will be affected by one. However, Beatrice shows that it's just another part of who you are. Chanel Tapper. We don't get to decide how our bodies are when we're born. Some people just have to live with their own individual traits, which are unlike anyone else's. Chanel Tapper is one of those people because she has a tongue that's seemingly longer than anyone else's in the world. In fact, Tapper was awarded with the Guinness World.
I thought fucking Gene Simmons had the longest, you know what I mean? Right, they just find her and she just beat his record. I know for a long time they said Gene Simmons held the record
For the longest tongue, which measures about 9.5 centimeters. While other limbs that have grown extraordinarily long can cause problems in everyday life, Chanel's long tongue is obviously hidden within her mouth and doesn't seem to be causing any stress. In fact, Chanel was proud of her unique ability and has gained great fame from her muscles. Chanel Tapper actually went viral in a video that showed off just what her tongue could do. Although it's not exactly useful to have a long tongue, it is pretty neat at parties. Of course, Tapper is one of those people that can even touch her
iPhone 15 in a mouse case. Here we go.
own nose with her tongue, which is definitely the thing we'd try first. You might not believe that someone like this could actually exist, and maybe someone else will come along and surpass her. But for now, Tapper has the top tongue. Allison Silva. For some reason, we expect women to be a certain height. While in general, women are biologically shorter than men, that doesn't mean we should accept this as the norm. People come in all shapes and sizes, and we should accept them however tall they are. For Allison Silva, she's had to face tough challenges because people were not ready to embrace her height, and neither was she at first. Silva has been dubbed as Brazil's tallest woman. Reaching 5'9" by the age of 10, it was revealed that Silva had a tumor that led to what doctors have called gigantism. Silva was bullied from a young age and now measures in at over 7 feet tall. Damn. However, she's learned how to accept who she is and has turned to modeling as a career, embracing her beauty and her height. She's even married to someone shorter than her, allowing love to take over rather than worrying about silly things like height. Although she's nowhere near the tallest people in the world, just because she's a woman, people have seemingly reacted differently to her. These days, Silva takes it in stride, but she's had a long hill to climb to get to this point in her life. Asha Mandela. Our hair says a lot about who we are. Around the world, there are cultures that worship hair and style it in unique ways that reflect their heritage and personality. Hair has always been important through history. Even as times have changed, we can see that centuries ago, people still cared about how they styled their locks. Asha Mandela has risen to prominence because of the statement she has made with her own hair. Nicknamed Black Rapunzel, Asha Mandela has the world record for the longest dreads in the world. They're so long that Asha carries them around in her bag to make it easier to travel. The Florida woman, who was a native of Trinidad Tobago, started growing her hair in her late 20s. They now measure up to 55 feet, an impressive length that took years to achieve. Asha has revealed that she has to wash her hair once a week using 6 bottles of shampoo in order to maintain her locks. If you thought your hair washing day was tough, think about how difficult it must be with dreads this long. Ironically, Asha has even fallen in love with a hairstylist who has admired his muse from afar for a long time. It's obvious she'll never cut her hair. It's who she is now. Michelle Kebka. Body modifications might be on the rise, but so too are physical transformations that push our bodies to the limits. We've seen people who put on incredible weights in order to lift heavier items, and those women who want to bulk up for bodybuilding competitions. However, Michelle of Germany is doing quite the opposite. She's trying to gain the smallest waist in the world. Although this sounds dangerous, Michelle is pretty determined to gain the world record. She started binding in 2009 and has since learned that the only time she should have taken off her corset is in the shower. The current world record holder is Kathy Jung, whose waist is 14 inches. But Kebka is determined to outdo her rival and idol, working hard to ensure that she reaches her target of 13 inches. She isn't far behind at 16 inches, which many didn't believe was even possible to begin with. To maintain her weight, she must eat 10 tiny meals a day and has experienced difficulty with her breathing. But any warnings from doctors haven't stopped her from continuing, as she doesn't feel any pain. Clearly, pride and determination is going to continue driving her towards that end goal. But the question is, what comes next? Lizzy Vesu. Unfortunately, rare genetic conditions can have unexpected effects on the rest of our lives. Through no fault of our own, our genes may mutate slightly that may have severe consequences for the future. Lizzy Vesu has always had to deal with her condition, being born with a rare syndrome that stops her from gaining weight and putting on body fat. Like most kids who were different in school, Lizzy was upsettingly bullied when she was younger, but she's turned her life into one of positivity, even becoming an internet personality and spreading her happy message about self-acceptance and love. Despite the adversity, she's proud to be making a difference any way she can. The Texan suggests that her religion has been her rock throughout, and her faith has gotten her through some tough times. From being named the world's ugliest woman to telling her story on her own terms through various documentaries, Lizzy has been on an extraordinary journey, and she's just getting started. Her anti-bullying message is clear, and she's not going to let anyone hold her back any longer. Michael Ruffinelli. Some people might want to be as tiny as possible, controlling their weight to gain a tiny waist or skinnier features. But there are those out there who want to do the opposite and look as curvy as possible. The point is, every woman has the right to control her body how she wishes and present what she feels on the inside. Michael Ruffinelli is incredibly proud of her own figure and has the world's largest hips. And yes, they're completely natural. The World Record Academy has suggested that her hips are the—
Man, she got a Mack truck back there, chat. Holy moly. Talking about donk-a-donk, bro. She got a whole Mack truck back there, bro.
Widest in existence, weighing 420 pounds and measuring 8 feet in circumference. The American woman was born at a normal size but began putting on weight in her 20s. After having kids, her hips continue to grow larger, but she's very comfortable with her new shape. Michael has become a plus-size model and made a notable career out of her hips. Although she's had to make changes in her life like buying reinforced chairs and a larger truck to drive in, these seem to be a small price to pay for how happy she is with her new look. Karina Rodini. Occasionally, we face obstacles that seem to be never-ending. They get in the way and stop us living our best lives. No amount of positivity can change that. But Karina Rodini, despite her fears, is trying to stay as upbeat as possible. You won't believe Karina exists because she suffers from one of the rarest medical conditions in the world. Rodini has tumors growing out of her hips and legs, and they've completely changed her life. Diagnosed throughout her 20s with this neurofibromatosis, Karina's legs just keep getting bigger and heavier. She fears they may never stop growing. Currently, her tumors weigh over 40 kilograms, and it's unclear what can be done. Karina has had to stop working and is largely stuck in the house. Although she's had surgeries to try and aid, her legs have only come back bigger and bolder. But Rodini is using her platform to spread awareness in the hope that it could help someone down the line, which is very admirable. While she's still looking for medical expertise outside of Brazil, Rodini continues to campaign about not feeling embarrassed to talk about her personal struggles and conditions that could occur in anyone. That important message is giving her real purpose and strength. Melanie Gatos. Being a woman means something different to everyone. To many, it means breaking down boundaries and doing things they were told they weren't able to do. Those women are always inspirational and set the standard for
Melt fat like butter with this new powerful military invention. This $69 Special Forces device turns men into beasts.
What's possible. And for Melanie Gatos, her mission was to prove that in truth, anything is possible. Melanie was born with a very rare genetic condition known as ectodermal dysplasia that can affect her hair, teeth, nails, and even skin. She doesn't look like everyone else, but that's okay. Melanie has always been proud of how she looks and has never let anyone's words get to her. In fact, Melanie made it her mission to show her beauty to the world and began a career as a model. She's taken the industry by storm and has achieved things that many would have said were not possible. Her unique look has been an amazing asset, and Melanie has quickly built a fantastic profile for herself. Everyone has their own insecurities, but Melanie is a sign that they shouldn't get in the way of success. Misa Okawa. Age is just a number. That's what we say, at least. But as humans, we're obsessed with getting older. Some of us want to live forever and are fascinated by those that manage to survive for a century. However, until her death, Misa Okawa was the oldest person in the world. Born in Japan in 1898, when she died, she was 117 years old. That sounds crazy, but it's genuinely true. Okawa was an inspirational woman who was very happy to live so long and suggested that life was actually too short. But she got to live more than most. She'd seen a lot in her time and had kids and grandkids who looked after her. But Okawa didn't seem to care about a Guinness World Record or how many years she'd actually been on this earth. Family and living a good life was all that was important to her. She did pass on some wisdom, though. She thought the key to a long life was 8 hours of sleep and eating sushi. Charity Pierce. The name Charity Pierce might be familiar to you already because she's been in the news cycle a handful of times. Charity had been named as the world's largest woman and had once weighed up to 778 pounds. Many might think that that's implausible, but Charity even took part in a documentary series covering her life, which was severely affected by her weight gain. But Charity is also quite inspirational because after pleading with doctors, she was given a gastric band and lost over 400 pounds. The loss of weight is life-changing, and while there's a long way to go before she hits her goal, Charity has proven that she wants to completely turn her life around. While she might not have to pass her records on to another, this is likely one woman who is proud to let go of the past. Today, you've seen some truly extraordinary women who do genuinely exist. They might be different, but they've embraced everything unique about themselves and made a little piece of history in the process. They're brilliant in their own ways and continue to persevere no matter their scenario. These 20 women who you won't actually believe exist should teach everyone a lesson in what it means to embrace identity and, above all else, celebrate everything that makes them who they are.
All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all sliding in, man. I catch y'all up on the next one.